attendees. So hope you're all keeping well. But yeah, really excited to dive into the webinar here today. My name is Dave Molloy, and I'm a senior account manager here at MediaValet. I have been fortunate enough to work across a number of different roles here at MediaValet, and that's really allowed me to gain an insight into some of the really exciting work that our clients are doing and how having a DAM can actually transform the way that they work. So I'm really excited to share some of the benefits that DAM can bring and some real life examples into the value that it drives. Awesome. So today we're going to be exploring how digital asset management, or DAM, has gone from a nice to have tool to a business critical solution that drives real measurable ROI across organizations. We'll cover the why behind DAM's growing importance, break down exactly where it impacts your bottom line, and help you shape a business case that will resonate with the main stakeholders. Finally, we'll focus on real world results from a client that I've been working with for the past 2 years. So let's dive straight in. So over the past decade, DAM has transformed from a digital filing cabinet for creatives into a strategic infrastructure that really powers content across the enterprise. In the early 2010s, DAM was mainly used by design teams to store brand assets, and this was helpful, but a pretty siloed tool. Then came the content explosion. So social media, video, and global campaigns created massive demand. DAM evolved to support smarter search, metadata, versioning, and greater accessibility. By the 2020s, with hybrid work and distributed teams that you'll all be aware of, DAM became a collaborative platform, integrated with tools like Adobe, CMS, CRMs, and this enabled real-time access and content delivery across multiple departments. So DAM really has become an enterprise-wide system of record for all digital assets. It's structured, it's governed, and it's intelligent. AI is helping teams to auto tag, personalize, and automate the asset delivery. And this means that DAM isn't a backend tool anymore. It's strategic infrastructure that underpins the entire content supply chain. So it's critical for brand governance, compliance and accessibility, global distribution, and ultimately data-driven decision making. So what's actually driving this shift? Remote teams, as we touched on there a moment ago, need centralized access to content. Marketing teams are having to deliver personalized content even quicker. Legal and brand teams are under pressure to ensure compliance, and the volume of content, well, that's absolutely skyrocketing. So DAM sits at the intersection of all these needs, enabling speed, consistency, and control. And not having a DAM system can cost more than you think. I may have had a couple of Irish whiskies while I was coloring in that iceberg, but without a central hub, teams often recreate assets that already exist. So this wastes your time and your budget. Deadlines slip because no one can find what they need. Sometimes the wrong logo or outdated content gets published, and this damages your brand credibility. For organizations in regulated industries, using the wrong asset can lead to serious compliance issues and really costly penalties. So these hidden costs add up quickly, chipping away at both efficiency and brand trust. But with a DAM in place, organizations are seeing real transformation. Faster content delivery, better collaboration, stronger brand control, and reduced risk. So let's get into the ROI of it all. And to me, these numbers really speak for themselves. So according to our 2025 DAM Trends Report, accounts saved 13.5 hours per week. So when you really calculate that, that's 1/3 of a full-time employee's week that was spent searching for assets. So because then those assets are easier to find, we see a 34% increase in content reuse. This sees a 46%, reduction in search time. And ultimately, all this leads to 70% faster go-to-market campaigns, primarily due to fewer errors and thus reviews. So these aren't just productivity wins, they're strategic advantages. With centralized access and AI-powered search, teams find what they need faster, reuse more, and avoid costly rework. That means that campaigns go live sooner with fewer errors, and your team has more time to focus on that high-impact work. Then you multiply those gains across the departments, and the ROI of DAM becomes pretty much impossible to ignore. We'll drop the full report in the chat. So when it comes to building a business case for DAM, it's important to align with the priorities of each stakeholder. A strong case speaks to more than just marketing. It connects across the entire organization. For your CMO, it's all about brand consistency and speeding up campaign execution. They want to know that the brand stays polished while teams move faster. The CFO is focused on operational efficiency and clear ROI. How does a DAM reduce cost and drive measurable impact? Your CIO will be looking for a solution that integrates seamlessly with existing systems, scales with your needs, and supports proper data governance. And finally, for legal and compliance teams, rights management and audit trails are critical to reducing and maintaining reducing risk, excuse me. Each of these perspectives is essential to getting buy-in, and I'll walk through them individually on the next couple of slides. So as we kind of touched on there, marketing leaders want scale without sacrificing brand integrity. A digital asset management system helps you to do just that. We've touched on already accelerating campaign creation and delivery. And this really ensures consistent branding across every channel and unlocks the ability to personalize at scale. Instead of wasting time hunting for files or recreating assets, teams can focus on higher impact work, and that time saved directly reduces costs, whilst also improving your output. With governance in place, you reduce brand risk and increase market readiness. And when you quantify the time saved, demonstrate improvements in content reuse, and tie those inefficiencies to campaign performance and audience engagement, you're not just showing operational value, you're proving marketing ROI. When evaluating a DAM like MediaValet from a CFO's perspective, the conversation quickly shifts to hard numbers and financial outcomes. We often see CFOs leaning in when they realize the platform directly supports cost control and operational efficiency, two of their top priorities. First, there's immediate cost optimization. A DAM helps eliminate redundant storage systems, reduce unnecessary agency fees, and prevent teams from recreating assets that already exist. That alone has led some organizations to reclaim tens of thousands annually. Then there's the time efficiency. Marketing and creative teams, often some of the most high-cost talent, spend less time searching for assets and more time actually executing on campaigns. That time saved translates into real financial gains. Plus, shorter project timelines mean faster speed to market, which then accelerates revenue. And let's not forget compliance. DAMs help protect against financial risk of using expired or unlicensed content, a surprisingly common and expensive issue. What makes it compelling is the long-term scalability. Whether you're expanding to new markets or growing your asset library, the platform adapts without requiring new infrastructure or any hidden cost. It's a smart, future-proof investment that delivers measurable ROI across the board. Now, when CIOs evaluate a dam like MediaValet, the focus naturally shifts to information governance, infrastructure, and system integrity. What makes a dam particularly attractive to IT leaders is its cloud-native architecture, offering enterprise-grade security, redundancy, and reliability without adding any complexity to your tech stack. From an information governance standpoint, it gives organizations centralized control over how digital assets are accessed, shared, and managed. You're no longer chasing down asset misuse or managing multiple versions scattered across local drives or cloud folders, which really simplifies the workflows. Alongside that, with detailed audit logs, permission settings, and version control, you're reinforcing compliance and security. And we briefly touched on another big win, which is how it integrates with other software. MediaValet and DAMs don't operate in a silo. They integrate with tools your teams already use, from Microsoft to Adobe Creative Cloud and CMS or content management systems. This means faster adoption, reduced friction, and easier automation of workflows. For CIOs looking to simplify operations while securing information flow across departments, a DAM system checks every box. For legal and compliance teams, a DAM offers more than just convenience. It provides control, protection, and peace of mind. One of the biggest challenges organizations face is managing the risk of unlicensed content or expired content usage. With MediaValet, all asset rights and licenses are stored alongside the content through our attributes, and this prevents its misuse. The platform also provides full visibility with audit trails, and so if questions ever arise about who used what, when, and how, that data is immediately available. This kind of transparency is invaluable during audits or investigations. MediaValet helps enforce critical policies such as accessibility requirements and privacy regulations like GDPR. Our role-based access and clear permission controls ensure only the right people are seeing the correct content at the right time. And ultimately, it allows legal teams to maintain oversight without the bottleneck. For any organization prioritizing risk management, a dam like MediaValet is a strategic safeguard, not just a storage tool. The University of Tulsa's story is a textbook example of how a dam can unlock operational ROI. Amanda and the team were faced with mounting requests and limited staff post-pandemic, and so they needed a way to scale output without sacrificing quality. By implementing MediaValet with templating powered by Mark, they shifted routine work like flyers and university signage into the hands of the departments through branded self-service portals. And what were the results? 0 review cycles for templated content, consistent brand adherence, and ultimately a huge lift off the shoulders of their creative team. They turned 2,500 requests into a manageable, distributed system and freed up their creative experts to focus on the work that actually moves the needle for them. ROI isn't just about cost savings. It's about talent reallocation. At the University of Tulsa, MediaValet and Mark gave the marketing team room to breathe. With those templates and branded portals, people could actually create their own content, and this didn't result in any drop of standards. They used brand templates to ensure brand consistency and make sure that all of the content was as it should be when supplied to the various tactics. Then alongside this with AI tools like face recognition, automated automated tagging, and smart image search, the system grew with their needs and not against them. Additionally, their assets were centralized in MediaValet and no longer spread across platforms like Dropbox, OneDrive, and local servers. This kept their CIO and legal compliance teams happy, was allowing them to take advantage of economies of scale when it came to their storage costs. It's a perfect example of how a DAM helps you do more with what you already have. So to wrap things up, DAM is no longer a nice to have. It's become mission critical infrastructure that supports teams across your entire organization. Whether you're looking to speed up campaign execution, eliminate wasteful rework, ensure compliance, or just get your content in the right hands faster, a DAM delivers. And importantly, it delivers results that you can actually measure and scale. As you continue thinking about how to build your business case or drive broader adoption, just remember, DAM isn't just about your assets. It's about unlocking your team's full potential. Thank you very much for joining me today. And if you'd like help putting together a custom ROI analysis or stakeholder toolkit, we're here to support you. Feel free to reach out to your MediaValet contact, whether that's your account manager, CSM, or any of the other team members that you're working with. So now we can open it up to some questions. What do you think would be important to include in a business case for DAM to our higher ups? That's a very good question. I would probably pose it in three main sections. I think it's always good to focus on what's the current problem. So this could be time wasted searching, recreating assets, compliance risks, slow campaign execution, any of the issues that we saw and kind of discussed today. Next, I'd probably focus on the ROI. So how would a DAM help you to actually solve these issues? How would it support you in going to market faster? How would it support the teams in actually accessing and utilizing that content? Maybe things like templating, which can allow you to create content on the fly. And then just better taxonomy and compliance controls. The final piece, and probably the most important, is then really focusing it on each stakeholder. Like tailoring the benefits to the specific person that you're speaking to, it really has the most amount of impact. So CMO, brand consistency, CFO, cost savings, CIO, integrations, and then legal, rights management, audit trails. So all of these things and really portraying it in that very structured manner of where we are now, what is the potential ROI, and how this will affect you would be the way that we'd recommend approaching it. When implementing a DAM at an organization for the first time, what are some of the main things to be aware of to ensure success? Another very good question. So I would say the first thing and probably the most important thing is going to be your groups and your permissions. So this is locking down the content and ensuring those people are only seeing exactly what they need to see. Within MediaValet, you could leverage things like our custom user groups, our accessibility permissions, our functionality permissions, and Then finally, our category level permissions. So that way you can get extremely granular with what those people are actually able to see within the platform and ultimately then what they can do within the platform. The next part I'd probably look at is your taxonomy. So making or tracking important pieces of information and ensuring they're consistent. So we want to ensure that people are searching in a structured way, looking for content as you have tagged it. So focusing on training, using your custom attributes, adding keywords to your assets to make them that little bit more searchable. Those are things that are really going to benefit your team. Then that allows you to leverage some of the AI tools that will actually take some of the general tagging off your shoulders. So smart image search, face recognition, audiovisual intelligence, all of these can supplement those attributes and keywords and just make searching for general content that little bit easier. And then finally, I think looking at how are you going to distribute this content? Are you going to leverage some branded portals? Are you going to leverage web galleries? Are you actually going to invite some externals into the DAM and use those groups and permissions that we built out initially? And that really allows you to kind of see the entire content lifecycle. Awesome. I think that is all of the questions. We can do a last call to see is there any other questions coming in? Perfect. Awesome. Thanks very much, folks, for attending the session today. I hope it was something that you found useful and now you feel armed to create a business use case and bring that to your team. Feel free to reach out. Appreciate all your attention and your great questions. Thanks very much, folks.